Y'all, Diddy ain't getting out of jail anytime soon, and he not getting out for good behavior. Y'all, Diddy was caught drinking in Fort Dix, but get this, they are taking severe action against him, or at least considering it. Y'all, we got the whole thing, but one thing I do want to say is, Diddy can blame Mark Garagos and his horrible PR people that were on the scene at the trial and TMZ for this, because he put such a spotlight about him being a god that walks among men that at the end of the day, baby, you going to get so much attention that you aren't going to want. People going to be snitching to get more time. People going to be snitching because they don't like you. People going to be trying to pray for your downfall because they don't like your attitude. And people might just throw you under the bus because they bored. What else do they got to do, baby? You are the dinner and a movie. Y'all, let's get into this because I know what you're thinking. How did Diddy actually get caught thinking? No, nobody wrapped a bag of a Jack Daniels wrapped in a teddy bear and threw it over the fence, right? Because Fort Dix do have long fence. It wasn't even contraband. Do you know this man was drinking Fanta mixed with lemons and apples that they let ferment 2 weeks? Yo, I do want to say one thing before we get into TMZ report, and let's be real. If Diddy hasn't even been in jail for 2 weeks and he is already breaking the rules, if he is already breaking the rules, then what are the rules you think he breaking? Fort Dix is known to have everything you want to smoke on, local, do whatever. They got snow hills. They got 2G cities, baby. They got whatever you need. So what's the odds that Diddy is still, what's the word? Oh yeah, sober. I never know not now one self-admitted rug addict who can responsibly drink. And the fact that you're drinking Fanta fermented with apple juice and lemon, don't try that at home. Lets me think like, oh, you down bad. That's what you get. I guess this was a mixer. You think Diddy was trying to get his own little freak off started in jail? I told you he probably had somebody making a ramen noodle bust down 30 inches. Somebody got to be the girl. Somebody got to be the guy. I don't know. Let's get into this. First of all, I want to give a shout out to my girls. Valerie Renee, high vibrational hood rat on Twitter. Go check her out. My girl Autumn, thank you so much for sending the story to me. And also my girl Sherry Couture, thank you so much. Man, this mofo he ain't getting out early. You already messed up the good behavior. You ain't even been there 2 weeks. And you already got a strike on your thing. You ain't getting out. You better pray to the pardon gods. And we know that's not happening. Or your appeal. But everybody said that appeal is just going to be denied. It don't matter how. Listen, at the end of the day, boo-hoo, Diddy can't get away with anything that the other inmates do. And the fact that even TMZ is reporting it, this is embarrassing. This shows a lack of accountability. Let me be real, right? Let me put on my judgmental teacher hat. This shows a lack of accountability. This shows a lack of actual repentance. This shows that you're not taking this seriously. This shows you think you in summer camp. So baby, since you're so happy there drinking your Fanta wine or whatever you made out of that, stay your ass in there. They had a homecoming party for you. You had all this stuff and you thought you was going to get away with it. You big dummy. Anyway, let's get into this. Diddy's sobriety journey took a detour in lockup this week. TMZ has learned he was drinking behind bars and got into some trouble with prison officials. Sources with knowledge tell TMZ Diddy had some homemade alcohol in Fort Dix, the low-security prison where he's doing time. We're told the alcohol was made out of Fanta, sugar, and apples, which inmates gave 2 weeks to ferment into an alcoholic substance. Tell me Diddy ain't going. Listen, you know they're going to have to randomly rug test him. How much can he really buy out? I think he's going to be literally taking Tucci. We're told Diddy got caught by jail officials and prison officials planned to move him from his old unit into a new one. 2 sources tell TMZ prison officials have now reversed their decision and Diddy will stay put. Baby, he gonna mess up again. And this is what I mean. If you can't even keep your nose clean for forget about 2.5 years. If you can't even keep your nose clean for even 2 weeks from being transported, how do you think probation is going to go, y'all? How do you think? This is probably why Diddy is fighting for a pardon so much. And if he's fighting for it, just sell everything you own and everything your kids own. Run that 300 million to whoever said the price tag was 300 million. And I'm sure you can be walking out. But that's the thing. Is it worth it? But when you think about it, you couldn't even stay clean for 2 weeks. How you going to do this for 5 years when you outside and you got everything wagging in your face? Literally. Next time he sees somebody walk by hit with a oogly woogly stick, he gonna be like, damn, right? I don't know. You may recall Diddy made a big deal about a sobriety to the judge prior to his sentencing last month, telling the court he was sober for the first time in 25 years. He also said he lost his way due to substances. He wrote in a letter to the judge, "The old me died in jail and a new version of me was reborn. Prison will change you or you. I choose to live." They said we shared pictures of Diddy hanging around the New Jersey prison yard just last week, and he seemed to be the life of the proverbial party, laughing and smiling while shooting the you-know-what with his fellow inmates. Diddy was convicted on two. Okay, y'all already know that. Listen, Diddy ain't never going to change. Once he gets out, he is going to be on the same BS. The only thing is he's going to have probation for 5 years. So most likely you're going to be back in the same bed, back in Fort Dix. And baby, you're going to be sticky, icky, right? Listen, he thinks he's the perfect candidate to be pardoned by Trump. Again, Diddy ain't changed. And just so you guys know, drugs are very prevalent in prison. The same way you're not supposed to have them on the outside, you're not supposed to have them on the inside. I believe now that Diddy stood in front of Judge Submarinian and he lied. Diddy stood in front of his children crying, "I failed you. Besmirched the family name." Lying. Diddy said he was clean for the first time in 25 years. You know what Judge Submarinian should have asked him? Well, how long is clean? Like 24 hours, 24 days, 24 months? Like what are you talking about that? Can you clear that up for me? That's what we needed to ask. Y'all, this is an absolute mess, and one that Diddy made for himself. And see, that's the thing with people, right? People talk about, pray for karma. I don't necessarily believe karma the way like some people believe it. I believe karma is the natural consequences of your conscious decision. If you choose to use drugs and lie about using it and not really get help and do all this other stuff, then eventually you will be in a situation where your judgment is altered and you will do the same stuff. I think that's Diddy's karma, the natural consequences to his actions, right? Listen. Again, Diddy chose 2 weeks in to drink alcohol in prison when he knows he's going up for an appeal, when he knows he's going up for a pardon, and when he knows he's going to have a 5-year probate thing on him. I don't want to hear anybody else give this man any type of grace because like I said, people standing there, people love to pretend that they are God. I mean, and it's always the religious people, right? You know, not all, but you know the religious I'm talking about, right? God forgave him. Who are you to judge? How the F you know God forgave him? Did he come to you in a dream? Or are you just working off the thing that God is like, oh, all right, whatever. How do you know God forgave him? How do you know he even asked to be forgiven? How do you know he's even serious? I'll tell you how. You look at a man's actions. What have his actions shown us? He's the same ninja he was when he got arrested, that he is in jail, and that he is now. And that's going to be the natural consequences of his actions. Listen. Again, mark my words. The next story here is going to be Diddy was caught doing a freak off. The next story is going to be that Diddy was caught doing a freak off. And baby, we haven't even gotten the people writing their family, telling people on visitation, or TMZ's prison spies really telling us what's good and what's Gucci with Diddy. But the fact that we now know he was caught drinking, Diddy ain't never going to change. Listen, again, listen, Did he sound like he having a good time in prison? I'm glad because you looks like your ass gonna be staying there. You better hope the next time around is Fort Dix. Anyway.